Vado.
Just perfect. I'm ready, love.
This is a message for Joseph Anthony Francis Quinn. If you listen to this podcast, like we've been told you do, the week of October 16th, please give us a 3-chain day. That's all I'm asking, because we don't know if this is true or not, and we want to believe it. We're really excited. But we're also shitting ourselves here. So
we need some confirmation from the source.
From the source. From the title character of our podcast.
From Leonard Bass himself. No, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Leonard Bast. Joe.
Just a sign. Give us
a sign.
Everywhere the sign.
Give us a sign. We're not asking you to come on yet. We're not yet. One day we will, but we're not asking you to come on. We're not asking you to do anything. Just give us a 3-chain day.
It's your decision if you want to do that.
The funniest thing would be if he did do a 3-chain day, but he has no idea that we asked. And then we're like, wow!
We're strictly losing our minds.
Maybe we need to tell him to do like a 5-chain day or something. Like, put them all on, Joe.
We could just be like, Joe, wear all of your chains.
Joe, wear all of your chains and walk around with a cardboard, like a piece of cardboard that says, "Yes, I know about the podcast."
or just at the Quinn Pod. Just our tag.
Or you can also just follow us on Instagram. That's we can be the 24th person you follow. Anyways, I hope you guys had an amazing week. It has been what has this week been like? It's been a weird week. I went on like a 4-day drinking bender. I feel like every day I was like, yeah, let's go out. Let's do this. Let's go. Blah, blah. And then before you knew it, this morning I was like, I can't see or talk to anybody. So
Yeah, you were super social this week for sure.
How's your social battery doing?
Oh, it's pulled over on the side of the road because I ran it into empty.
I feel that.
Yeah.
You're waiting for AAA to come get you.
I'm waiting for AAA. How has your guys' week been? Tell me all about it.
Yeah, Danielle, tell us about it.
My week was fine. I didn't have anything special happen that I'm aware of. I did get to go to a pumpkin patch yesterday, and that was so much fun. I loved every second of it.
Those pumpkins looked amazing.
Thanks. My friend Erica is a photographer, and so she helps me get the right angles, and so that's why my video was very aesthetically pleasing.
First of all, like Sundays are sacred for us because we obviously record. We do the whole thing where we talk about Jose Antonio Francisco.
Muy bueno.
But then also Sundays are the days when like the House of the Dragon comes out. And
Have not seen it.
okay, that's fine. I won't spoil anything or whatever. But here's the thing. I was watching some of the interviews about how they casted Rhaenyra, and they were like, oh, casting Emma Darcy. Rhaenyra needed to be somebody that gave like rock star vibes. Mm-hmm. Boy, did they fucking nail it.
And she has really unique features, and I feel like Targaryens, they all have beautifully aesthetic, interesting features, and I feel like they really got that on point this season.
Yeah, truly. And I love the inclusivity of Emma Darcy as a non-binary person, being...
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is so cool to see. My sister's fiance is also a non-binary person, and it's just good to see that kind of inclusivity. But they have been going viral on TikTok this week. And it... Have you guys heard this sound?
I've heard it. It's all my For You pages.
Every other
it has
video.
It has me thinking, do I like this? Why am I excited about this?
Emma Darcy has unlocked something in like women that a lot of women didn't know existed within them. I mean, hearing them say a Negroni Sbagliato with Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning. Stunning. Babe.
Ooh, stunning. And Olivia Cook is like not far back. Like what a 10. My God.
Mm-hmm. I think this may be the new fucking filthy martini.
Yes, Danielle, that is so true. Wait, can we play those back to back?
I would go into cardiac arrest.
Wait, let's do it. Do you want to pull up Joe's sound and I'll pull up Emma's?
Their audio about drink.
So you've had drinks every course.
Yeah.
Do you still have a dream drink on its own?
My favourite drink is, just like a filthy martini.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
What's your drink of choice?
A Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing.
Sbagliato.
Mm.
With Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, stunning!
I'm
Why
like,
is that when people talk about drinks?
Sbagliato?
It's
I
like,
can't do both of those sounds.
It's sexual.
Like consecutively again. Like that just doesn't. I will malfunction until the day I die.
I'm so glad we lined that up because I bet people have been like waiting for that comparison. And you know
Yes.
what? We did it.
Yes. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
There we go.
This is what we're here, giving people what they want. Every week we supply the goods.
You know who else should get what they want? America. They should get a con. America should get.
Segway.
Follow me into the next segment, and we. I mean, was that bad?
You're not wrong, though.
Was that-
You're not
what
wrong.
was-
America does need to get a con.
And I mean,
America has cons. We just need cons that involve Joe.
it was announced that he was going to be at Tokyo. Is it Tokyo Comic Con? Did they announce this?
Japan, yeah.
Japan.
Japan. Not sure if it's Tokyo, but
So he's going to be there, and then it was also announced he's going to be in Panama.
oh,
For,
I don't know about that one.
another
Panama.
con.
Also in Germany.
And then one in Germany. So our boy is working his way through the world.
He's getting his stamps on his passport. He's like that stamp.
But I'm dying because I made a video today, and it's the funniest fucking thing to me. The way I look at it is, think of this as a relationship, right? When you break up with somebody, or when somebody breaks up with you and you see their Instagram story and they're living their best life. They're doing the things that they didn't do with you when you were together. They look so happy, they're glowing. And you're like, "What the fuck?" Like I would have loved to do that shit with them. That's what Joe's doing to the US right now. We're sitting here, we're like, "Hey, you're doing all these cons, doing so great, living your best life." And then we're over here like, we would love one too. we would have loved to have one.
in LA, Joe. Come on.
Right.
Like, where else has he been? Well, he went to New York to be on Fallon, so.
Yeah, that was great.
There's 47 other states, Joe. Kansas City has the #1 rated barbecue in the United States.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, stunning.
Stunning. Your
Come on,
opportunities are unlimited. Come on
Seriously.
down. Come on down
Come
to
on.
Party Town.
We're going
Come
to
on
steer
down.
Joe away.
I think, though, honestly, if we look at it as a whole-rounded, open-minded type of situation, I really think it's all just timing. I really think Shannon had made a point that a lot of our bigger cons have already happened, like towards the beginning of the year.
Oh.
And like this summer, there are still some cons that are going to happen this year. Don't get me wrong.
Like Wasabi Con.
Yeah, America do their
There's-
cons like at the first half of the year, and so by the time
Yeah.
he got done with all of his press for Stranger Things, it was already like July, and they were all fucking
yeah.
done.
So maybe he'll hit us on the way around towards the end of the year. I don't know why I did this movement. But
It looked like a little...
I really think it's just timing, you guys. I know we joke around and we say it's not fair. I really we're going to get our time.
We're just
And
envious.
we're also
of the
not
rest of the
patient and we're jealous. We're jealous.
We're just all around awful. And maybe...
No, we're not.
I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
There are some goofies, don't get me wrong,
know.
but we're not all terrible.
We just have to fix our, we know you're good, and you're just sorry, We need to stop saying that. I appreciate you.
I would like to let it be known, I actually need a virtual air high five because I have completely removed that statement from my vernacular. I no longer say you're fine whenever people bump into me. It's not even a go-to statement for me anymore. I say, I'm sorry, and then I keep moving. I don't tell them that
Wonderful.
they're fine.
Do you-
I also don't say I appreciate you anymore either.
I say I appreciate it. I've switched from appreciate you to appreciate it.
I think that would pass.
Yeah.
You know?
I just hit him with thanks so much for your help.
I've tried. I've tried, and I've tried to go from "you're fine," "oh, it's fine," "you're fine." I've said I've been able to switch to "that's all right."
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I just apologize back to them and keep moving along my way.
I
was it
also, for some reason, I don't like "you're welcome," so I would say "no problem," and then, but I do find myself going, thank you, He would fucking hate that. He would fucking hate it, and I have to stop.
I want to touch about on Dior real quick. We have not gotten a video campaign, and I am starting to get concerned. Okay, I'm starting to get concerned that maybe we're just not going to get one.
We're getting pictures though, and pictures are great.
Don't fucking lie. Come on, say it.
I think that they're editing his face too much. Like, let me just rant about
Okay.
this for a second
yes.
because I've been holding it in
Let it
because
out.
no one around me understands. There are certain facial features that we have come accustomed to and that we love about Joe. His smile lines underneath his eyes, his freckles, his brown
Right.
eyes. You look at these pictures that Dior has posted, they are great. I love them. They're classy, they're elegant, just like Dior is. But they are way too edited, in my opinion. It looks like they slapped a beauty filter on. Am I the only one feeling like this? Or
I was thinking about this.
is that just the style or vibe that Dior goes for? Because I've also looked at other people's,
Right.
and they're very simplistic, very, if that makes sense, like very,
I hear you, and I think I was thinking about this a lot, and I think that what I kind of concluded about it, which now that I think about it, I haven't done a review of the photos. I should probably do one, but I think that what a lot of people fail to recognize is that a lot of the times when these photo shoots take place, they're always heavily edited. Always. Even with female actresses and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? They're always super airbrushed, and you look at them and you think to yourself, oh, you know, her skin looks amazing, you know? And I completely do agree. It's very obvious that he was heavily edited, but it's because we've seen a lot of people taking selfies with him in 4K.
yeah.
You know?
And we were also very spoiled with Wonderland and Esquire because I don't think they went that route. They let a lot of his natural
Features.
come out, and because that was the first on the Esquire shoot was the first time I had ever seen his freckles, and now I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with them.
I think with the Dior shoot, you're absolutely right about the editing, but I also feel like it was a very controlled set, and I feel like with Wonderland and like magazine interviews, they want the person they're interviewing to be comfortable and to be themselves and to go outside. But when you're doing a campaign, you're working for them. They're not working for you. So maybe maybe the photographer, it wasn't the same connection. Because I feel like when you're taking photos with somebody, there's like a chemistry, there's a connection, there's a way to vibe to like get the photo you want. But they went into it knowing, they're like, we need him tossing the bottle. We need him to show the bottle to the camera. But that one photo where he's like,
I wouldn't.
Like,
I would
it
say he
doesn't-
looks pensive. As
he doesn't look like he's promoting a fragrance, if that makes sense. He looks
Yeah.
great. He looks great in all the photos. Despite the editing, he looks great. But I just think we don't see that same chemistry and Joe vibe like we did in the magazines, I think.
But I think it's because of what you said, right? I think it's because these articles are writing about him. These magazines are trying to catch the essence of him. This is a campaign, a transaction wherein his job is to give Dior a Dior vibe, you know?
He's not the star of the show in
No,
these. The bottle of perfume is, and I just need to, Danielle, it's not all about Joe all the time.
And I
But they
think
picked him
that,
for a reason. You think they would kind of, emulate a little bit more of him in there, but I get it. I get it.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the backdrop for the photos was gray, his jacket was gray, and then, the only pop of color was like the fragrance, the lavender and the fragrance. So
I think his shirt was lilac as well.
was it? What's
one of his
that?
pictures, yeah.
Let's find out.
Stunning. The one where he's throwing the perfume up in the air. His shirt is a lilac color.
Okay, so here's what I have to say about this picture. I think that it goes with the caption: a mesmerizing and mysterious actor. I mean, this
Yeah.
is giving mystery. You know, it's giving like deep in thought, profound.
Okay, so I'm
mysterious.
gonna make the same face, and you're gonna see if I'm exuding that.
I don't think that's the same face though. I think that I don't think it's the same. I think that your first impression of the photo is what you've kind of stuck with, and that's fine. That's your take on the photo. I don't disagree. I just think it's giving like
Do you remember that picture from Wonderland where he's staring with those eyes?
he stares with those eyes in every photo, and it said which one?
It's like the camera's down here, and he's looking down like this. He's got his curls.
It's like
his
bedroom
beard.
eyes.
Ugh.
Yes. Why are you not giving bedroom eyes for a fragrance? You're making him go. Anyways, whatever. I've said my piece.
I think it's more of we just have seen more of his personality in the past. But the way that you've explained it, we went to school, we understand now. I get it.
No, I know.
I love his freckles and his smile
Yeah.
lines so much. They hold such a special place in my heart. And I just want to see them in every single picture that I see. That's all I want in my life. At any given moment, what do you want, Danielle, to see Joe's freckles and smile lines? That's all I need.
Did you guys ever do that high school like senior like pictures or whatever? And I got them back, and they edited all my face freckles out. And I was like, okay,
go
there's a
talk to
difference
them.
between
How dare
acne
they?
and freckles. Like,
So within the last week, we've also found out some fun little tidbits about Mr. Joe.
Let's go. Show me.
some tidbits.
That's one thing that I've noticed is the sleuthy people of the internet have been finding old articles that he's done and sending them to us, and I'm here for it. As long as you're not inviting personal privacy, send me all the articles because I want to read them all.
Yes, true.
Asked him some really fun questions, and I wanted to share them with the group, and then we can chat about them
Yeah.
because they're so special. So one of the questions they asked was, what is one of your favorite skills you've learned on set? His answer was, I have yet to do a job where I teach or learn something as far as a specific skill, but I have learned to turn up on time.
he's learned.
That is so fucking relatable.
Right?
I am never on time.
It just feeds into this idea that I have of him. Like, I feel like he's a late riser. Just for some reason, I just feel like he snoozes his alarm
We
at
talked
least
about
8
this
times.
for the con. We're like, this guy obviously runs late, sleeps late.
Yes.
That's why he's
We
not
did say
ironing his
that.
damn shirts. Like, we knew.
But I mean, this just feeds into that for me, that he's learned to be on time. So good job. You're doing great. Keep it up.
proud of you,
I'm
Joe.
never on time. I like even when we record this podcast, I'm like never on time.
We've gotten really bad at starting at our set times,
Yeah.
but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
whatever. So I think that they might have done this article around Christmas time because there's some Christmas related questions in here. What do you want for Christmas? A really good time.
Damn right, baby.
Is that Joe calling to say that he's listening to our podcast?
I wish.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time, baby. All right, so he wants a really good time for Christmas.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That could be rollerblading. That could
Ooh.
be getting a pint of Guinness down the street at the pub, singing karaoke, carols. Who knows?
Yeah. Down a bottle of tequila on the 24th before baby Jesus is born. Let's fucking go, babe.
Hey, yes. They also asked him, what's your favorite thing about Christmas? And I love this answer. He said pub lunches and the smell of Christmas trees.
What is a pub lunch?
It's, to me, when I hear that, I'm thinking like a club sandwich and chips and a pint of something.
Is it
Or
is it like
it
Or-
could be like a roast like that plate that they have that has like 3 different kinds of meats, veggies,
loves a roast.
mashed potatoes, bunch of gravy.
Yeah.
Also love a Scotch
I want to
egg.
look it up. Oh, and a Scotch egg. Yep.
So you said you like the fact that he said the smell of Christmas trees?
Yes.
Aw.
Makes me very happy.
Pine.
A lot of people like that smell.
Yeah.
And he has a sophisticated palate.
I know. I feel like he does.
Yeah.
My favorite though was whenever he was like, "I like to smell good." Is that right? Do you?
Same.
That's
Me
great.
too.
Me too.
Weird. We have that in common. He also said that 3 words that describe him are pensive, curious, and silly. Him's is just a silly little boy.
I think that's the most collectively. That's the most British 3 words that you can put together. Pensive, curious, and silly. That computes. Oops, sorry.
I like that combination.
Yeah. It adds up. It adds up for him for sure.
Has a good time. He wants to learn more, and he thinks long and hard about things.
And then the last one I'll read is what inspires him. He said, anyone who has a go and tries to make a career out of acting.
I love that.
I love him.
He knows that ambition. He knows it and loves it, and he loves to see it. Like he just knows what that feels like. That feeling of wanting to be an actor. I feel like that's probably where that stems from.
I think that's a very sweet sentiment too. The fact that he is sitting there saying, "I know what it's like, and I know it's hard, and I really admire anybody that will put themselves through this." And
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
that's a very good answer for that question. Yeah. Okay, so let's go through those things, and then each of us can answer them too. What are 3 words that you would say describe you, Danielle?
Why do I always have to go first? I need some think about time.
All right, Shannon, what about you? We'll come back to Danielle.
I would say that I'm introspective, quirky, and emotional.
I think that's perfect. Okay, Dee, do you want me to go?
Well, I have 2 out of the 3 because
Okay.
Shannon said one of my words, but I can come up with one on the fly. I am charismatic,
Okay.
humble, and diligent.
Charismatic, humble, and diligent. I have seen every
Wow,
single.
Not the reaction I was expecting.
I have seen each and every one of those, like, in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think I'm empathetic, self-deprecating.
Oh, God.
Empathetic, self-deprecating, and happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not self-deprecating. You're happy.
Okay. So should I remove self-deprecating?
Well, I feel like even if you're falling down a dark hole, you still have a smile on your face most of the time, so it's fine.
I feel like I said the nice word for that. I'm introspective. Like I'm always looking in on myself a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the nice way of saying it. Like, what am I doing? What can I change different? Did I piss someone off? What, I'm constantly thinking about what I did.
How about like empathetic, welcoming, and happy? Because I feel like
you
I
are.
always like.
You're a badass PR person, too.
You're also really assertive. I feel like if we're like,
Assertive.
me and Laura are like, what do you think, Laura? Just you say it. You do it. And me and her back here is like moral support. Like,
Right up that draft.
Yeah.
All right, happy,
100%.
empathetic, and assertive. Yeah, that adds up. What's your favorite thing about Halloween?
So many things. I like the crisp feel in the air and the smell that is associated with that. And then I also love seeing the costumes and how much people put into it. Either go super chill with it or you can go super elaborate. And I love to see the different variations of that. But the crispness in the air and the smell is probably my number one. I'm one of those people that bases their being on the smell. And there is nothing better than walking outside after a fall rain overnight and it's like kind of gloomy out and it's crispy and it smells good. Ugh.
Yeah, we don't have that in Florida.
It's been so long,
Come
my
see
dear.
me then. Like it was like that
been
this
so
morning.
long.
It was like that this morning. And the leaves are starting to fall and change colors. Like it's
I
beautiful.
will say Florida has cooled down a bit. Like when we went to Kennedy Space Center, the high was 82. That's good. Normally the high is like 90 something, and then
Yeah.
you're like, all right, well, Gonna have swamp ass for the day. Great. Didn't happen.
It was 64 degrees yesterday when I was at the pumpkin patch.
Oh my god, that's like, oh my god, if that's like that in Florida, it's in January and everyone's got their big heavy jackets on. Like, that's cold. Like
100%.
that's how we are here.
100%.
Like that's
Yeah.
fucking cold.
I think my favorite thing about Halloween is the fact that more people are starting to decorate for Halloween than for Christmas.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
And obviously horror movies.
Oh, yes. I didn't know we were doing, like, if I could have said 3 horror movies would have been just right up my alley.
Why don't we just do that? Like after we're done talking about what we like on Halloween, maybe we should just name some horror movies. Get in this in the spirit.
Ooh.
In a little bit.
I've watched The Babadook lately.
Oh, that's
That movie startled me.
The Babadook?
Yes.
Bad.
It's so scary.
But the
Ew.
moment 2 drag queens showed up as the Babadook in another one, I was like, I can't take this person.
What are your favorite things about Halloweeny, Shannon?
I get to be expressive with makeup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I did like my little bat wing today. My bat wing
love
liner.
it.
I have shit on my phone and on my Instagram. If you scroll back a bit, I did some weird demon ass makeup last year. I did a cosplay of the sisters in the Resident Evil.
Oh my god.
That's in the house with Dimitrescu. I did a cosplay of that, and I did some TikToks.
I feel like this is your time too. Like you go in, you are like full form in Halloween, because like it just goes with you so well. Have you ever dressed up as Elvira for Halloween?
No, but back in high school, I actually kind of did my hair that way. I had a swoop bang, and then I would tease the back of my head, so I had the bump. I probably have a photo from way back when. It was during Christmas or something. I looked like Elvira opening my Christmas presents because I had like this long black tunic and leggings, and then just like my bump. I love the spoopy movies, and yeah, I find any reason to bring together like a sexy outfit with also being scary. So like one year I did like a corset, a bloody like neck corset thing, and with the mask. So I drew like a Victorian mask on my face with blood, not real blood, just blood. And so, but I had like my boobs out, and I was like looking all sexy but bloody, and I was still scaring people, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then last year I was a demon, but I had a sexy outfit on, so, and freshly dyed green
I was
hair.
Hermione.
Oh,
I was Hermione last year. A sexy Hermione.
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
I even have a wand.
I
even had a wand.
Whose wand do you have?
Hermione's. I
What
also
is
have Professor
Hermione's?
Snape's.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. So the Hermione one is from Barnes and Noble. It's not anything special, but the one that I hold dear and near to my heart is my Snape wand that actually came from Harry Potter Land, and it has the bauble on the top. So when I go next year, I get to like do the spells and stuff. I'm actually really excited about it.
Got it from Diagon Alley.
Yep.
I have never, as an adult, dressed up on Halloween.
What?
I've never.
I can't give up that tradition. I can't.
I can't
Love it.
either.
I can't because
Like this year, I'm gonna be Beetlejuice.
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
real excited.
Oh.
I had a moment in college where I tried to dress up for Halloween, and they were like, you go to Spirit Halloween, it's like a sexy lion or like sexy this or sexy that. So I bought a costume and I got like bullied for the costume. Yeah.
Who the fuck we have
That's
to beat
okay.
up right
Oh my
now?
God. They were
Honestly.
like, you're not skinny enough to wear that. And so ever since then, like I never.
Right now. Now. I'm going to fucking bully these people now.
It's okay. He's bald and like super broke, so it's fine.
Oh, well, then Drew Afuelo got a hold of him somehow, I'm sure.
See, what I did is I went through the same thing with getting costumes at like Party City and Halloween, whatever. The key, when I hit like my upper 20s, I completely transitioned into creating my own costumes with stuff that looked good and I felt good in.
Yeah.
So like last year, I happened to come across this swimsuit, which was a Gryffindor swimsuit that was like super low cut. And then I had a black like kind of like skater girl skirt that I put over it, so then you just saw the top half, and I put on one of my cardigans and I ironed on a Gryffindor thing, and then I just tied a Gryffindor tie loosely around my neck. And then this year I went on Shein and bought the black and white striped like straight leg pants, an oversized black and white thing, and then I have a lacy like bodysuit that I'm wearing over it, and then I have a bobbed like mossy green wig that I'm gonna wear. So you just gotta like put together. Don't rely on those stores that say that they're size inclusive, because they're not. You just need to make a costume on what makes you feel comfortable and just live it up.
I go into the back section at Spirit Halloween where they have the corsets and like the individual by color or by like style. I don't even go out and pick like the actual outfits, because half the time they won't have my size, or their sizes run weird, because I have smaller boobs, but I have a bigger bottom. So even if I bought a large to fit my ass, my boobs are going to be like,
yeah,
there's room in here. So like, it's like, so it's better to find like pieces. I think I've decided all I'm going to get is some wings for my bat outfit, because I actually have a really sexy dress in here. It dips down all the way down here.
Yeah.
It cuts down all the way down.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just like wear some titty tape and then just like wear cute like boobs or
Titty tape.
I do have fake boobs, but I don't think I'll wear them. They're kind of heavy. And then I have I've worn them for Marilyn Monroe. I had to put them in like a strapless bra to like set them in, because they will fall the fuck down if I like try to tape them on me. They're so heavy. And then I have like these really cool like boots. So I feel like that's all I'm gonna wear is like that dress, some boots, maybe the boobs, and then bat wings, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that'll be perfect. Oh, we didn't talk about him actually hurting his hand on the set of Les Mis.
Yeah, we can kind of just...
Which I had no idea about.
Is there information?
I don't know. I don't think that we found anything as to what happened, but apparently they wrote in the scene in Les Mis where he got his hand shot so he could like wrap it up, because his ring finger was bandaged.
Yeah.
Because he literally almost cut his finger off in real life.
Okay. You want to know
how? I don't know. But they wrote that part into the show. Because I remember watching like behind the scenes footage of like, I think there's a video of him riding a hoverboard.
Yeah.
And then one of him, the dancing video that we've all seen, he keeps that red bandage on. And I was like, dude, like, way to, stay in character, but you could take that off. Well, come to find out it's because he almost freaking lost a finger in real life. Like, what?
I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio in Django that had cut himself in the dinner scene.
He slammed his hand on the table.
Yeah.
He broke some glass, and he continued the scene, and he rubbed his real blood all over Kerry Washington's face. That was his real blood that he put all over her face.
And so Kerry Washington's expression and reaction is like
100% real.
And so it's interesting. I don't know why that made me think of that. I'm sure that, with Joe, like the writers had to like step in and do something with that, but like it triggered that memory from Django.
I feel like with Joe, he would be like, the show goes on unless he's fucking really injured where he can't perform. If he just hurt his finger a little bit,
I think Joe would do something like that. I think Joe would keep it going and use it. Because he does so much improv, right? Like, he would just be like, oh, I cut my finger here.
But super method.
Blood all over your face.
I don't think that he did it on the set, though. I think it was, like, in his outside life.
Oh.
Right.
And then they started filming. And then they're like, dude, what's going on with this? And then they had to, like, write it in because he needed to keep it bandaged from what I'm seeing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so they wrote that scene into his part so he could keep his hand bandaged.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, what the fuck you doing?
What did you do?
Fighting crime, apparently.
It's maybe from all that parkour he was doing at one point.
Maybe.
Oh my God. Or he's just chopping vegetables and he slipped or something. Who knows? He's making his fucking roast. That roast he makes and...
The roast. That's right, because he said he's a bit of a chef and he makes a good roast.
He's probably just chopping
Yes.
some celery and carrots, and he fucking slipped.
Have we talked about the food thing?
We talk about his thing for food almost every episode.
I know, but like how he likes to cook.
No, we have not.
In none of the previous okay, because somebody asked me a question like, if you were to cook, if you could make him a meal, what would you make him? I'd be like, no.
I'm pretty sure it was Cole that asked us that.
Cooking, like what we would cook him, or was it if you could ask him any questions, what would be the first question?
She asked us what we would cook him.
I understand that he said something about the fact that like he's like a chef, or he likes to make he's called himself a pretty decent chef, and that he can make a really good roast. And I'm like, well, what would I fucking make if the opportunity ever fucking presented itself? Nothing. I could no. He's such a foodie, and I would default to pasta. Because I make really good pasta in my opinion. But that SOB has been to Italy more times than he can fucking count. I'm sure because he's
you should
fluent.
cook what you know. Laura, you should cook what you know. You probably make some bomb ass Puerto Rican food. Who knows how often he's eaten that? You could expose him to that.
Change his life, baby. It'll
See?
change his life.
Listen.
All I've got is avocado toast. I make a mean avocado toast, but that makes me sound like a fucking basic ass white bitch.
See, I have already set myself up for success living in Kansas City, because I would be very upfront with him. Listen, I don't have much to offer you as far as my cooking skills, but what I can do is order barbecue from 3 of the top 3 places in Kansas City, and then you can try all of them and tell me which one is your favorite. Because you know that man doesn't get an opportunity very often to sit around and eat barbecue. Maybe he hates it. Then I'm screwed, and I'll be like, you tell me where you want to eat. But nobody
they take
really
me to Olive Garden. Would take you to get a tour of
I
Italy.
would be like sick because I love Olive Garden.
I know what I can feed him.
What?
I know what I can feed him. Since avocado toast is more breakfast, Adam said I made a really good cordon bleu one time. Chicken cordon bleu.
Ooh.
The only thing he wanted me to change was what I marinated the chicken in. I just bought like a dressing, and he was like, it was too vinegary. Like he would rather me make my own.
Yeah.
Like I use Gruyere cheese. Like I didn't use fucking Swiss. I use Gruyere cheese. I bought the nice shit to wrap the chicken in.
Ooh.
And I made that shit. I will make Joe's mouth.
Do you
water
hand
with
grate?
some fucking?
Did you like hand grate
Sure.
the cheese? Oh, okay,
Sure,
good.
or I'll just go to Publix and tell them to slice it. I don't know, something.
Yeah. I love that. If you don't know what Publix is, Publix
Slice me
is
up a
a
bit of
grocery
cheese.
store here in Florida,
It's
and
like a U-Crops. It's like a,
That just made me think of that scene from the Access Hollywood interview where the guy's like, 2 self-tapes, you've got to interview more at a Kroger to get a job there. And Joe's face was like,
what's a Kroger?
okay, cool. Like, this guy has no idea what a Kroger is.
It was such an American thing to say. Oh my God.
It's so true.
How confused does this man get in American conversation?
He's probably lost.
I don't even want to come here because half the shit y'all talk about, I don't know what you're talking about. But that's how Americans feel when we go to the UK. They start talking about stuff and you're like, huh? Remember when Cole said that? He'll start talking about stuff and she's like, what?
I feel like you can actually see him kind of, I don't want to say check out. You can kind of see it in his face when he hears something that he doesn't know what it is. He's kind of just like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Can we please talk about the Roman numeral next to his name? How
Is
many
he an
Joseph
eighth?
fucking Quinns are there? Is he Joseph Quinn the Eighth?
I said this before. I said that's the most British thing I think I'll ever see.
Is his Daddy Joseph Quinn?
There are 7 other Joseph's Quinns behind him. Like how far that goes back? That's got to go
His
back
lineage.
to like early 1800s, right?
Maybe even further if the average person lives at least 50 years. 2 people, that's 100 years like already.
I mean, but you could have had 4 Joseph Quinns in the 1900s. You know what I mean? Like a great grandfather, a grandfather, a father, and the son.
And the last name Quinn is very unique, so it's not like it's like a John Smith. It's like let him have his own damn name. But Joseph Quinn, it's just unique enough, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? To where if there's going to be 8 of them in the one family, it's like, okay.
8 Joseph Quinns in one family. I don't
Damn.
think I've ever seen. I
Y'all?
think the most I've seen is like the 4th.
That means they all share the same middle name because he's not an 8th if they don't all match the middle name. So it's Joseph,
Is that true? That's crazy.
Joseph, Anthony,
Francis.
Francis. Sorry, I forget that one every time. Quinn the 8th.
Hey guys, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties, and so this is where we're going to get right into the Wonderland magazine article. We're going to start to unpack it. Unfortunately, the first half of it, it did not come through. So without further ado, we're getting into the Wonderland article.
It says the Duffer Brothers have stated we didn't know the size of the role he was going to hold and if any of the scenes that we had already taped were going to even be in the series.
What? Repeat that?
Yeah. It says the Duffer Brothers have stated we didn't know the size of the role and if any of the scenes we had already taped were even going to be in the series.
So are you? Oh my God! So there was a shot.
Like they wouldn't have even kept him in there, or his role would have been even smaller.
But he was
How
so
do you?
good.
Whoa.
They couldn't cut him out.
So his audition was the first scene in the cafeteria and the scene in the woods with Chrissy. And then he also auditioned the scene where everyone finds me after the murder. So after that, we were kind of trying to figure out how big the role was. And then we got the rest of the scripts in the hiatus. So going into the hiatus, he wasn't going to be a main character, it sounds like. So I guess his audition tapes changed their mind.
Wait, so, oh my God. Wait, I kind of love that we're doing this in real time too, though, that we're kind of processing this and talking about it in real time.
So it says it turned out that it was a beautifully written role. So I was very shocked and still very shocked. He shares humbly. He still always puts it back on how it was written. It's like, no, my guy, like it was how you acted.
But also,
like your talent.
This part near the end, he's like, I guess the acknowledgement or notion that I even have fans, it's still something that I'm wrapping my head around. I think it's something important to bear in mind that they're fans of the show and they're fans of the character, and through that there's a projection onto me. I'm sorry.
I know we read that at one point too, whenever they sneak peek this article, and we've said it before and we'll say it again. Did this whole thing with Joe start because of Eddie and the Duffer Brothers and how the character was written? Like, we've talked about this before, whenever they sneak peek this article, and it's that he maintains that the only reason this is happening is because, of Stranger Things. But I don't think he understands that if it hadn't been this breakout role, it would have been another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this whole thing, sure, it started because of Eddie, but he's not retained us because of Eddie. We don't talk about Eddie every episode.
No.
Did it start there? Absolutely. But I think the fact that he is so seemingly humble and shares himself in the way that he does is what, has kept people there. Oh my God, what did you just read? Read it.
So he touches on the story that he said at the Toronto Fan Expo about the two little girls wearing their Hellfire shirts. He kind of touched on that, and then he explains when I tell him about my own Hellfire shirt. He said, I think walking around in the moment feels quite strange, so I'm definitely not trying to draw attention to myself. He says this with a quiver of hesitation in his voice, but I'm basically taking off my hat and my sunglasses, and I just wanted to be in the moment with them, and they both started crying. I gave them a hug, and we took a photo, and that was a lovely feeling to feel like people have been touched by this thing, and so that's very nice. But the rest of the time, I'm in disguise, like Leonardo DiCaprio, hat and sunnies. It feels so fucking stupid and self-important, but it's helping at the moment anyway. It breaks my heart that he has to put on a disguise, honestly.
But it's the fact that he took it off for them because he knows what that feels like to love something so much. When we figured out that Joe was obsessed with Orlando Bloom and Lord of the Rings, it's like he gets it. He knows exactly how we feel because he felt it. So it's like he's protecting himself, but he also has that empathy of other fans knowing how they feel. And he's like, I have to give them this. I have to show them who I am.
He did state that, he goes, it's insane though that they're so young and they're watching the show because it's fucking scary.
It's so fucking scary. When I watched the first episode and I saw Vecna for the first time, I was like,
it startled
what
me.
the fuck did they do to this show? was like,
Well,
why
like,
did
they
they take
really-
it there?
They really stepped it up in the like scare factor of this.
Because that does not look like
This-
Jamie.
No,
I had
didn't even
no
know it was
idea.
him.
No.
I had no idea that it was Jamie until after the season wrapped and I started seeing like tour stuff.
Oh my God. Can I tell you that my immediate response when I first saw Henry in episode whatever, whenever they're doing the flashbacks, I was like, wow, that guy from Twilight. Sorry. I remember
No,
thinking,
it's the I peel you banana guy.
yeah, oh no, yeah, that guy. I said the guy from Twilight and the guy from Sweeney Todd. Like he's really just gone down in his career. He's doing a tiny part like an orderly.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I remember thinking to myself, like, I've seen him before. Where have I seen him? And then in IMDb, he wasn't presented as Vecna. It said friendly orderly. And I was like,
Yeah.
like what a step down in career.
Yes, that makes sense. They would do that because you would think because he was just number one. As you're watching the episode, you don't realize that number one is Vecna until
Absolutely.
later.
So, like,
yes, that's
yeah,
why they did
and
it.
that's what
then
I'm
to
saying.
advertise that, you're like, you can't fucking tell that that's Jamie. He even disguises his
Absolutely.
voice. Jamie has a very distinct voice. Jamie Campbell Bower, like really monotone, like nasally, like
Yeah.
he does not sound like that as Vecna at all.
No, that was
Yeah.
amazing. That was definitely a right call for them. What else? What else, Dee?
So he also touches on how consistently chill he's trying to keep his life when he's not touring. He said, admittedly, Quinn is finding what did I say? Admittedly, Quinn is finding solace from the touching, albeit relentless attention he receives by sheltering behind what he calls his timeless disguise. He also finds solace in spending time with his friends and that he considers calling family. He potters around his southeast London flat, which he shares with his flatmate. This guy's really got a structured job and he knows when he's got time off, he shares. Is there a pang of jealousy as he says this? He's also quite measured and clean, and I'm absolute chaos. So it's good to have that type of balance.
His roommate
so
is
again-
measured and clean.
Yeah. So again, with him saying that he's chaos makes me think late riser, clothes all over the
riser,
floor.
clothes all over the floor, and definitely everything is wrinkled in his fucking flat.
Abbreviation ADHD.
ADHD. Yes. Oh my god. That's so fucking.
But I
right.
feel like, remember how he described himself?
Yeah.
Pensive. A lot of those are just very nice, fancy words of side effects of ADHD also. Not to diagnose
Yeah.
him, but
Oh.
very well could be.
That's
But-
such a good point.
Continue, Danielle. I'm sorry.
He also is quick to assure me that being incognito helps him gain some clarity on a reality that is disarmingly dizzying, far from his alternate reality in which he just would include a budding career as a brain surgeon or a kind of platinum-level philanthropist. So despite escaping the upside down and his world having turned into sad direction since Stranger Things, Quinn finds his happiness simply still being Quinn before anyone knew him as Munson.
Joe, it sounds so depressing.
No,
But
I
he's trying
love
to
that.
He's trying to
Like-
hang on to any normalcy that he can.
I love,
much.
and that's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
best part about it is that he keeps there are so many people in this world that when they're thrust into fame like that, they just go with it, and they need people around them to keep them grounded. He is so
Yeah.
aware of himself that he keeps himself grounded, and that's amazing.
So one thing that is hitting the internet like freaking hellfire is his touch on potentially starting a music career. Okay.
Yeah.
So he talks about going to Lollapalooza and meeting Metallica and
Yeah.
how scary it was and that it took balls to put a guitar on and play the riff that he hadn't played in months. He's like, but I did it.
Oh.
So he said, despite heavy metal royalty confirming his musical dexterity, Quinn's modesty takes hold once again and our attention turns to his guitar playing skills. While I say that I am a guitarist loosely, I don't play in any bands or anything like that. I was in band when I was a kid. I loved it. My guitar just gathers dust, which is stuff we already talked about. Suggesting that he might not be as rusty as he thinks. Instead of dwelling on his success, though, Quinn, multiple times throughout the interview, is quick to flip our interview dynamic, questioning me on my own musical preferences, amongst other things, and laying bare hits his own.
I love
The
that.
first genre that I'm nerded out on... Stop. This makes me so excited. The first genre that I nerded out on in my hazy adolescence was East Coast 90s hip-hop. The love that I have for 90s hip-hop runs so deep within my... East Side! Like, that makes me so excited. I love it. He goes, I fell down the rabbit hole quite far with that one, but now it's just all different kinds. The Discovery playlist on my Spotify is my best friend because every week you just get an injection of new music. And my friends have great taste as well, so we're constantly sharing things. Music, it's the best, isn't it? What about you? So he turned around and brought the interviewer back into the conversation because he's a gentleman.
He's an includer.
So then he talks about Harry Styles.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so ready.
This inquiry prompted an unsolicited Harry Styles lecture from me.
Oh my God, unsolicited. Wow.
During which Quinn revealed that he too is a stan. I'm into him, he admits. He's just kind of impossibly good looking, isn't he? I rate the way that he's carved this thing out for himself after One Direction, and he's clearly doing well. I love that he has ambitions in the movies as well, and I don't know him, but it seems like he'd be a very cool guy to hang with. Although Harry Styles may have been the nucleus of my teen years, Quinn also lets on that he too was in a boy band.
Not just any band. Wait.
No,
Wait.
just stop.
How do we find this?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did Joe just say he was in a boy band?
Yes. His band was called Black and White. And they were 13 years old, and they used to play weddings and covers.
I have tears trying to stream in my eyes from I don't know what emotional reaction, but they're there and they want to come out.
As well.
Were they doing covers? Did you say they were doing covers?
Yeah, they were playing weddings and they were a cover band.
Oh my God, they're singing like "This I Promise You" from NSYNC.
By the moon and the stars in the
Oh,
sky.
Oh, what is that 98 degrees? That 98 degrees song that came out. This.
It's I Do Cherish You.
Yes, I do.
So good.
Cherish you.
Cherish you.
Holy shit!
By the look in your eyes.
And all we get is L is for Laura, my lady, love you.
I love that you.
I
love that you immediately went to Laura and not Lauren. Thank you. Right here, baby.
I bet you he was the guitarist. Do you think he sang? I want to think that he sang.
Yes, I
He
think he
sings
sang.
low. He probably did like some backup like low, or he might have sold a little bit. I mean,
Shit.
Okay.
So this is where he talks about potentially dabbling in a music career. So confident in the fact that his 13-year-old self's band probably won't be making a comeback anytime soon, much to our dismay. Quinn does go on to confirm that there could be a version of his future that involves music. I've got to do something else, he says. I might force myself because I admire Joe and Maya and Jamie and Charlie Heaton, the latter, who is an amazing drummer, which I did not know. Charlie Heaton can play the drums? Okay.
fuck yeah, that's awesome.
And then he also has other members of his cast like Finn, who has musical ambitions as well. It's a really good thing to have on the side of acting because you have a total control over it.
Oh wow.
And then a neighbor's dog interrupts our flow with a righteous bark. Are you sure they didn't have Marnie there?
If that's the
kidding.
case, I'm 2 degrees away from him. Like,
I can hear Joe go,
Perfect.
Monet, excuse me, I'm doing an interview.
So he gets up. So this is another thing. They did this interview in his bedroom in his flat.
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to say it again?
No.
They did this interview
No.
in his
No.
bedroom in his
Okay.
flat.
Did,
All right, cool,
did he
cool.
fucking tidy up or did he leave his shit everywhere?
I hope it was
It
complete
It says,
chaos.
a neighbor's dog interrupts our flow with a righteous bark, and he puts our chat on hold to close his bedroom window.
Oh, they're on Zoom.
Oh,
Okay.
Is this a
that
Zoom?
makes more sense. I just imagine like 2 folding chairs.
I was like, that's so personal. Like, come
Just
on.
inviting
Yes,
him into
Joe,
his
give
fucking
it.
home. I think
was
it's
like,
I think
Okay,
it's a
that
Zoom
makes
chat.
so much more sense. That makes so much more sense. I immediately was like, these men are
was like-
facing each
I was
other
like,
and folding chairs.
Just sitting on his bed, just cuddling, spooning each other.
Stop. No.
Oh my god.
No.
Is Joe the big spoon or the little spoon?
I would like to know.
I feel like he would switch off. I feel like he gives.
He's a
He
switch.
likes both. Yep. I feel like he's a switch.
Or
Some
is
days
like
he may want to be cuddled. Some days he may want to cuddle.
I don't think
It
he's a
just
cuddler.
depends.
He does
Adam
not
is
strike
a
me
little
as a
spoon a
cuddler.
lot.
Stop. I'm leaving. This conversation
No,
is
I
over.
don't think he's a cuddler.
No, I refuse to believe that he is not a cuddler. Absolutely not.
His love language is touch.
Absolutely not. You cannot see the type of man that he is in these videos and
kidding
tell
me?
me that that man does not like to be touching his significant other.
For sure, like a
Spooning.
like for sure, like for a short period of time. I don't think he's like a cuddling through the night kind of guy. Doesn't strike me as
Nobody cuddles through the night because you
Huh?
get hot and you got to get away. Like
Yeah.
like,
nobody
get the
cuddles
fuck
all
away
night.
And then you might come back for a few minutes, but then you roll away. Like, as long as
know
he's
what he
there and
strikes
he's
me
game for
as?
it anytime I want it, that's all I need.
He does not strike me as a cuddler, period. But you know what he does strike me as? The type of person that like doesn't cuddle, but will touch his feet with yours just to make sure that you're at least touching. Yeah,
No, but I feel like my favorite way to fall asleep, and I bet you Joe likes this too. I like to fall asleep right on the peck, just like this. But when I wake up like hours later, I'm like against the wall. I'm like, bleh! Like I'm not anywhere near where I fell asleep, and he's like not facing me. So
Listen, I am so insecure about the fact that I'm so okay. There have been times where like I have fallen asleep on like my ex's chest and I wake up in the middle of the night and there's like a pool of drool on top of him and I'm like, I could never. I'm like, you stay on your side of the bed. Don't fucking touch me. Here's my pinky. You can hold my pinky. Well, how did we get onto this topic?
We were talking about him being in the bedroom with this man, but really they were on a Zoom call.
Was the interviewer a man?
it said words by Eric Rana.
Okay.
Erica Rana. Erica,
Erica?
sorry.
Okay.
Erica
So-
Rana.
So, okay.
All right, so on to the next subject.
Yes.
Because I feel like we need to bypass the fact that I thought that they were in a bedroom together and not on Zoom.
I think
Or
we
just
gotta
his
really-
living room.
I feel like we need to keep that like in there and like just kind of bring it together where you go like they did this in his room. Oh no, wait, it's on Zoom, and then we can kind of joke about it because like this exchange was golden.
No, it was very funny, Danielle. It was.
Even the first time I read it, I was like, wow, that's a very personable place to have an interview. Like, this man let him into his home, let alone his bedroom?
He vacuumed
Yeah.
and cleaned up all his shit off the floor and
So next up, he talks about Horde. We do get a bit more information about the movie, but not a lot.
Okay.
So musical career may be on the cards. Something that he's taking on with a lot more certainty is in his next starring role in director Luna Carmoon's upcoming directional debut called Horde, a role he is overjoyed about, more so because of admiration for the film's 24-year-old director having a project
Oh my God,
greenlit
she's so young.
at such a tender age.
Wow.
It's a complex family dynamic, and it's being helmed by this extraordinary young director called Luna, who is a 24-year-old and has managed to get the film greenlit.
Wow.
He just reset that sentence. 24 and managed to get a film greenlit, he repeats with admiration. That's why he said it twice. That makes sense. It's pretty insane. It's being produced by Andrew Stark, amongst others. He was at the beginning of the filmmaker Ben Wheatley's Surgeons. So he's very good at managing young British talent, and I think that there is some amazing actors in it.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
exciting.
this is kind of cut off on the end. I can't really read it. I'm really excited for it. I think if Luna gets left to do her thing, it could be a really interesting film, and I feel very excited to have been there with her at the beginning of her career.
Oh.
Such a little bean. He's so sweet. But what's next in Quinn's career? Where does he picture himself in 10 years' time? Perhaps with an Oscar, a never-ending stream of groundbreaking roles?
Yes.
The above do not feature. Instead, what he truly desires is much more grounded. Olivia Colman said to me once, to have an extraordinary career, you need to have an ordinary home life. I mean, she didn't say you need to, but it helps. She has a very lovely family, and she's been with her partner since uni. She has 3 lovely kids, an extraordinary career, and is an extraordinary person. There's a phase that is rallied around the business. Take your work seriously, but never yourself. That is something that I hold on to near and dear. So much of it is about managing your life and making your life as simple as possible so that when you're given an opportunity eventually to go and make some crazy things with crazy people, you feel like you can. I want to do this, and I want to lay down the foundation of some roots. This next paragraph I'm about to read showed me a whole new side of Joe that I didn't know I needed unlocked. Okay, so prepare yourself.
I already felt a lot reading that, so I can only imagine now.
As our conversation on this seemingly ordinary Monday drew to a close, at the end of which the actor let me in on an evening routine that consists of a self-tape, cooking, and running a bath, one thing became extraordinarily clear to me, that while he may be striving for the ordinary, Joseph Quinn is anything but that. Our boy loves a good bath. I didn't mean to make the tone more happy, because this is a beautiful thing to say about somebody, but you really know that you dive into your self-care if you take time out of your day to give yourself a bath.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Spend time with yourself.
There's a love and an art with having a bath. You know? You spend time with yourself. You're alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be really raw and really real with yourself in those times. And, good for him.
Or maybe he's got those fancy, wooden tables that go across, and he's got his wine, and he's got, a book, and he
makes himself a cheese board. Do you think he makes himself a cheese board?
Or charcuterie board.
A charcuterie board?
A charcuterie?
So it's really interesting because I was listening to the last episode that we released this past Friday, where we said that we didn't think he was ever going to have to do a self-tape or anything like that. And this was part of his routine. Mm-hmm. How fascinating.
Yeah. Huh. I don't think that he'll ever have to make another one in his life, but for someone that is really honing in on the simplicity of his life and keeping his people close and trying to stick to a routine, I could see him continuing to do self-tapes just because they comfort him, maybe.
Yeah, I could see
to keep him grounded. To keep him grounded. No, I'm still gonna do these, even though I don't have to. I'm gonna fucking do them.
Do you think? But do you think maybe it's because he's auditioning for something? Is the point I'm trying to make? Because I understand the sentiment of he's never gonna have to do this again because he's just that talented. But at the end of the day, directors and casting directors and producers have their processes. So if you want to be part of something, you have to essentially do a self-tape, period. So, you know, my question then becomes, I understand that people are going to be reaching out to him left and right, that people are going to be fighting for him to do these roles. But I wonder at which point was it just to keep himself grounded, or was it because he was auditioning for something? Because I hope.
It could very well be a little bit of both,
Yeah.
There are going to be roles that he is just going to be handed 100%.
They probably were audition optional, and he's like, well, I'm going to fucking audition just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I found reading the full article a lot more rewarding than just the snippets.
Oh, for sure.
Because with just the snippets, we were pulling and grasping at straws on what he could be talking about. But this article gave us the kind of intro and outro to those snippets, and it made it more
cohesive,
whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good word. Yeah, for sure.
Because there's bits and pieces that weren't in those snippets that you kind of got to see a bit more of like Joe in there, and I was just like, I love him. He's so great.
That was a Joe face you just made as well.
Oh. So this was like worth every minute. Oh, but, it was so worth waiting for that article. It was so good. Did we talk about anything else? We probably should watch Les Mis and review it next week or something.
Yes.
Or in a couple weeks. Cause like I want to see.
Yeah, let's talk about it on the finale. Let's talk about it on the finale episode.
She's like, we're not gonna watch it in the next week because it's 6 episodes.
Well, it's Jamie though, you know.
Oh yeah, next
week's
week's episode. Yeah.
So we're not talking about Joe if it's Jamie. That means we should try to watch something with Jamie in it. Maybe we should we can talk about
Sweeney Todd and Mortal Instruments.
Never seen Mortal Instruments, but I've seen Sweeney
It's
Todd.
on Netflix, babe.
That's a good span too, because Sweeney Todd was more towards the beginning of his career, and then Mortal Instruments was within like the last 5 to 7 years. I want to say
2014, so 8 years.
Ew.
Yeah, it's been a while. What about that one show where he's kind of fruity and I think he has a lot of sex? What's that show?
What? Hold,
Excuse me?
please. Because he said that he's kind of.
Yeah,
Because I didn't.
haven't you seen
Has
those
he
thirst
been in
traps?
anything recent?
haven't you seen this third? Hold on, Jamie.
No, I'm still very much embedded into the Joseph Quinn TikTok.
No, I know. I've seen
Jamie
some thirst
pops
traps
up every
with him.
once in a while. I will say though that my For You page is starting to kind of not show me as much Joe, and it makes me a bit
Oh,
sad.
that's okay. Every time I see it come up, I'm like click, 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 interact.
You engage with it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I do. Shit. Give me what I want. I feel you. Thomas and Friends.
Joanna.
Urban Myths. He played Mick Jagger.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He played Mick Jagger.
Where and when?
Urban Myths is a TV series called Urban Myths, and it's okay. We got to talk about this next week.
Yeah, so make sure that you guys check in next week, because we are having an episode completely and utterly and divinely dedicated to Jamie Campbell Bower.
Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yes, the man, the myth, the legend. I am.
Joe's best friend.
Jamie
Or one of his best
Campbell
friends.
Bower.
Anyways, follow us on TikTok and on Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube. Do the whole shebang, baby. My Instagram and TikTok is Laura Vanessa. Laura with an H at the end and Vanessa with an H at the end. Danielle?
And then mine is D Young, D-E-E-E Young on TikTok. My Instagram is Miss Danielle, MissDanielle.
Danielle!
And I'm Shannon. I'm Starry Eyes, StarryYyeyes on Instagram, and I'm What's Up Shannon on TikTok. Come say what's up.
And then our Instagram for the podcast is the Quinn Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And the TikTok for our podcast is the Quinn Podcast.
Yes.
Thanks for coming back and being on this journey with us. We're having the time of our lives.
Yes.
And we're so happy that you tune in every week.
Guess what?
And we can't wait.
Next week, baby, episode 10. 10!
10 whole
whole
seasons.
episodes, bitch.
Oh.
Let's
Wow.
do it.
What a wild ride. Thank you guys so much.
The
You guys are
horror.
amazing.
I love you all. I love you all so fucking
love
much.
you.
Love you. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Mine's still on there. Okay.